Welcome to the Pets Rule Show. I'm your host, Mr. Animal Lover. Thank you for joining me today. Inflation versus pet parents, why rising costs are splitting families apart. And when I say families, I mean our little furry friend. It can be a cat, it can be a dog, it can be a snake, it can be a gerbil, a hamster, a lizard, any type of pet. They're being broken away from families. They're being put up for adoption. And that's what this entire week is about. We're going to talk about the crisis in the United States when it comes to pets being put up for adoption. And one of the causes, I would say, is inflation, right? Everything has gone up. Pet food, pet services, everything that has to do with pets has gone up. And who suffers? Pet parents, pet lovers, and ultimately pets. So, Charlie, say hi before we start. As you can see, I have my beautiful little Yorkie Charlie, and I have Bob up here, and they get along. That's who keeps they keep each other busy. Charlie likes to lick Bob, and Bob likes to lick Charlie, and they just love each other. It's good, because Bob is on the older side, and I didn't expect Bob to really get along because he hasn't been around dogs all his life. And I didn't expect Charlie to get along, but they're getting along just fine. All right, let's start. Inflation versus pet parent, why rising costs are splitting families apart. Pet parents everywhere are facing a crisis that no one wants to talk about. Inflation isn't just raising prices in the grocery store, it's breaking families apart. Vet bills are skyrocketing. Pet food prices are out of control. All right. Vet bills are skyrocketing. Pet food prices are out of control, and shelters are filling with surrendered pets whose families simply cannot afford them anymore. If you're a pet parent, this message is urgent. You need to know how inflation is targeting our family, our furry family members, and what you can do right now to fight back before it's too late. It's a crisis, throughout America. Every state has a non-for-profit animal rescue center, and I can say maybe 8 out of 10 of them are suffering. And when I say suffering, they're overcapacitated, and there's too many pets being surrendered. What can we do about it? Well, this entire week on the Pets Rule Show, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about solutions to the issues of surrendering pets, and what can we do about it as pet lovers? How can we make a contribution to lessen the pet adoption crisis we see now across America? Number one, the shocking truth behind rising pet care costs and how inflation impacts every dog parent. Across the United States, the cost of being a dog parent has skyrocketed. Pet food prices alone have jumped more than 20% in the last 2 years, with premium brands rising even higher. Veterinary care has surged as well, while with routine checkups now costing what emergency visits used to. Grooming, boarding, and even basic supplies like leashes or flea prevention are straining family budgets. For many pet parents, the math just doesn't add up anymore. Inflation is forcing them to choose between groceries, gas, and their pet's health. Listen, it's heartbreaking, and they every day there is always a newscast or a little episode about how pet parents are suffering and what is causing it. Well, right now, it's inflation. It's the rise of costs of everyday staples like pet food for a family, of three. It can be home food, the food that they buy every day. We know gas prices hasn't gone up. Thank God for that. But everything else, electricity, insurance, everything that has to do with a household has gone up, and it's costing pet owners because they have to decide, do I pay my insurance? Do I feed my kids, myself, or do I feed my animal? And that's something hard to do, right? Heartbreaking stories of families forced to give up their pets and what this means for shelters. Shelters across the country are reporting a heartbreaking trend. More families are surrendering their dogs, their pets, because they cannot afford rising costs. Loving parents who never imagined giving up their pets are facing eviction notices, job losses, and impossible choices. Some bring their dogs to shelters in tears, explaining that it's the only way to keep them safe. The result, shelters are longer than ever. Each surrendered pet represents not just an animal in need, but a broken bond, a family torn apart by economic pressures. Practical budget smart strategies pet parents can use right now to fight back against inflation. The good news, there are always ways to push back. Pet parents can buy in bulk or join co-ops for food and supplies to slash costs. Switch to generic medication. Your pet, your vet for cost-saving alternatives. DIY grooming at home with clippers, brushes, and tutorials, saving hundreds a year. You can go to YouTube, by the way. Pet sharing and co-share, co-care with trusted friends, splitting, walking, boarding, or even bulk supplies. Preventive care focus, staying on top of vaccines. Flea tick prevention, dental hygiene, reduces expensive emergency bills later. So when it comes to vet care, we know it's getting expensive, and we don't want to blame our veterinarians because everything that they use in terms of the equipment, the needles, the staff, all that is getting expensive. So they have to raise their costs. We know that. But when it comes to insurance, right? You know, these insurance companies sometimes, you know, they can raise the price to the point where it's not worth it for a veterinarian to even perform a certain emergency procedure. And this is where things get blurry along the lines, right? Think about it, human insurance, right? They say, I heard in the news today, when it comes to human insurance, that things are going to go up, right? If you don't, you know, there was a big issue with pre-existing conditions, remember, that they didn't want to cover. So when it comes to pet care, right, we know that when they're young, they don't need insurance. When I say they don't need, you know, you're paying into the insurance and you have a healthy, sound cat or dog. Majority insurance is on those types of pets, right? And they're healthy. Now, when they get older, right, that's when the issues start coming in, right? That's when they need an emergency, whatever it is, you know, diabetes treatment, medication treatment, and that's when it starts getting expensive. And that's when the insurance companies start with their, I'm going to drop you, or, you know, you hit the max. So, you know, this is the things that maybe we should go around in terms of sitting down with the insurance companies. And if you've been a loyal customer with the same insurance company for 10, 15 years, paying your premiums, you know, when the pet gets 10 years old, well, let's be reasonable, right? Let's start paying for those emergency care that the pet might require, right? So these are things that insurance companies also have to think about, right? Let's not put all the burden on the pet parent, right? Huh? You love that, right? You love that. You love being caressed. You just love it. All right. Critical resources, nonprofits, and community programs that can help you keep your furry family friend at home and together with the family. You're not alone, and there are lifelines available. Many communities have pet food pantries, often run by local shelters, humane societies or food banks, organizations like Red Rover Relief, the Pet Fund, and Feeding Pets of the Homeless provide emergency grants, vet care assistance, or food for struggling families. Local animal rescues often partner with clinics to offer low cost spay neuter services, vaccination, and wellness checks. Even national retailers sometimes run discount days to help reduce costs. The key is to reach out early before a crisis forces you into surrender. So, if you're a dog lover, a dog owner, and you're thinking about surrendering your furry little friend, before you do that, there's no shame in reaching out to family and friends, right? You have cookouts, you've had family and friends over, they've seen your pet, they've fallen in love with your pet, but sometimes there's that shame factor, right? Oh, I don't want to ask for help. I don't want to let them know that I can't afford my pet anymore. I think there's nothing wrong with asking for help. you know I think that we should be honest, right? When it comes to, okay, I need help. Things have gone up and I can't afford the pet food. So please, before you think about donating or giving up your pet for adoption, ask for help from families and friends, right? Inflation is more than numbers on a chart. It's a daily battle for families who love their pets. Don't wait until you're facing an impossible choice. Take action today. Explore community programs, adopt budget smart habits, and lean on the lifelines available to protect your dog and your family bond. Every step you take now can mean the difference between heartbreak and hope. And when I say hope, there's always hope at the end of the tunnel. Always. All right. On a lighter note, we're going to go to pet confessions. And I am going to keep this up on the screen as I go over my pet confessions. What you're going to see on the screen now is if you're not a subscriber, don't forget to subscribe to the Pets Rule Show. I am your host, Mr. Animal Lover, and we're here to educate you on everything about pets. Pet Confessions, a new segment on the show, and I am loving it. We have 4 pet confessions. This one is from Jenna in Boston, the escape artist turtle. Jenna confessed that her turtle, Shelly, somehow managed to escape her tank one night. She panicked, turned the whole living room upside down looking for him, only to find Shelly hiding under the couch hours later. The funny part, Jenna swears he looked smug, like he had just pulled off the great escape of the century. Well, Jenna, you're fortunate. A turtle's not a fast animal, and you didn't have to look too far, right? Pet confession number 2. I need some water. Pet confession number 2. Marcus in Atlanta. Marcus admitted. All right, the cat's revenge from Marcus in Atlanta. Marcus admitted he once switched his cat Milo's favorite wet food for a healthier, cheaper brand. Milo took one bite, spit it out, and then knocked the entire can off the counter. Marcus says Milo hasn't trusted him at mealtime since. Proof that cats never forget betrayal. I agree with that. As a cat owner myself, I can tell you, they know when they smell the good stuff and the bad stuff. Pet confession number 3. The snake that knows timing from Lily in Phoenix. All right. Lily confessed her ball python Jasper has this strange habit. He only escapes his enclosure when guests are over. She swears it's intentional because he always slithers out right when someone who's terrified of snakes is in the room. Lily now calls him her living prankster. Well, Lily, be careful. We know snakes can be fast and slithery, so just be careful. Because the snake one day is not going to come back. It can slip away and escape somewhere else. So be very careful. Pet confession number 4. The lizard with expensive taste from Andre in Los Angeles. Andre admitted his bearded dragon Spike refuses to eat regular lettuce. But the second Andre brings home organic arugula from the fancy store, Spike devours it. Andre jokes that his lizard eats better than he does, and his grocery bill proves it. Oh, Andre, be careful. You're getting your lizard to eat very good arugula, and it's going to get expensive. So be very careful because everything else is expensive. We don't want you to start spending on arugula. You should make it a special treat. All right, that was pet confessions. And if you have a pet confession, don't forget, snap, share, win, enter your pet confessions, pet pictures, and videos for a chance to win prizes: $25, $50, $100, $500. End of year prize, the 500. Email pictures, videos, pet confessions to petsrulesshow.com. So the 25, 50, 100 at the end of every month, a pet confession will be chosen, and that pet confession will win a prize of $25, $50, or $100. So it's there for the winnings. Don't forget to send your pet confessions to petsconfessions@petrulesshow.com. Please send in the email, your email, a picture of your pet. And if you have a short video, less than a minute, we'll do. And that's the petsconfessions@petsrules.com. All right, it's time for pet news. And for today's pet news, we have a couple news. We're going to start with investigators are probing deaths of 21 dogs at an upstate New York pet boarding facility. And that's concerning, right? But the deaths of 21 dogs at an upstate New York boarding facility are under investigation. And throughout the week, I will give you updates on that. Again, right now, they're just investigating and want to know what happened. Tomorrow, National Dog Day Party in Brooklyn on August 26th. Threes Brewing in Brooklyn will host a National Dog Day celebration. This event will include pet portraits, treats, raffles, and adoptable animals from Badass Animal Rescue. Good luck with that, Badass Animal Rescue. I hope you have a successful adoption. And thank you for Threes Brewing in Brooklyn for hosting National Dog Day celebration. Anytime there's an adoption, it's always good news, and that's why I'm announcing it here. All right, NYC shelter crowding continues. Local news outlets continue to report on the overcrowding crises affecting animal care centers of NYC, ACC, the city's public animal shelter system. In mid-July, reports indicated the shelters were at capacity due to a rise in pets being surrendered by cost-burdened owners. The ACC has asked for the public's help through adoptions and fostering. So I am going to help you with this, ACC, and any animal rescue center in New York City. So I came across an animal rescue center, and I know that every animal rescue center has its own challenges. I know that every state is different. Every population is different. However, you have to think outside of the box. What do I mean by thinking outside of the box? If you see something's not working, then you must change what you're doing, right? Throwing money at a situation or a problem that is not working, it's not going to help fix the situation, right? So what am I talking about? all of those overcrowded, not just in New York City, but everywhere in the United States, throughout the United States, overcrowding animal rescue centers, non-for-profit, and those for-profit that are doing it. I found a nonprofit that has a 90% uh, successful rate. And I'm going to give you a little bit of news on that. So, this is a successful nonprofit animal shelter with a high percentage of pet adoptions, employs innovative strategies like cat cafes and streamlined processes to increase adoptions. Shelters also boost adoptions by utilizing social media, building strong community partnerships, and reducing barriers to the adoption process. For instance, KC Pet Project uses these methods to achieve over a 90% save rate for animals entering their shelter, demonstrating that a proactive, community focused approach can significantly improve outcomes. And I'm going to show you their website. Again, I know that there's different dynamics, different populations. However, 90%, if you can raise the percentage of your adoption rates by 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30%, because you're utilizing something different outside of the box that you haven't utilized up to this point, just like KC Pet Projects is doing, then why not test it out? Why not try it out? All right, let's go to their website. Let's see what they're doing right in their city, town, state. So this is KC Project. And obviously it's a non-for-profit. Dogs for adoption, cats for adoption. Join us for the KC Pet Project inaugural patio party on August 17th. Obviously this has passed, but meet us at the shelter, enjoy a ice cold beverage, and rock out to some great tunes by featured artist Hembry. Bring your friends and party for a cause. Every ticket purchase benefits the cats and dogs at KC Pet Project. Okay, so what are they doing so far? I see they're asking local singers. I don't know if this is a big band, but they're asking bands and creating parties. Let's try that in your community, in your non-for-profit. Building a more compassionate community for pets and people. We open our doors to over 16,000 animals in need of a second chance every year. For more than a decade, our life-saving programs for taking in lost and surrendered pets to providing veterinary care, adoptions, foster homes, and pet support service reflect our innovative leadership in animal welfare and unwavering mission to create compassionate community for pets and people. So, adopt, donate, locations, foster, volunteer. Great in announcing that. Animal control transitions to city management on July 30th. So this is in Kansas City, Missouri. Residents can contact the city's animal services division. So calendar, they're on Facebook. 4th of July adoption special. Give today. And they have statistics. I'm just showing you what their website looks like. Maybe you have to, redo your website. Make it a rotisserie coffee shop Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Exterior window open before noon daily. So listen, obviously they have different challenges. They're in Missouri, Montana, Missouri or Kansas. I think I saw Kansas. So again, they're not taking as many animals as a New York City animal non-for-profit probably, but still, you can learn from what different animal rescue centers are doing, and maybe you can take away from what they're doing and bring it to what you're doing and change. Think outside of the box. That's why I'm showing you this, So thank you for a beautiful website, KC Projects. Thank you for sharing. Again, they have achieved over a 90% save rate. That's something to give kudos to. And they're from Kansas City, Missouri. So kudos to you. All right. We're talking about inflation versus pet parents, why rising costs are splitting families apart, and how can we protect our furry little friends from being put up for adoption. That's what the whole show is about. The show is about finding solutions, right, to prevent adoption. Because if you put up your pet for adoption, it is going to suffer. Bottom line, I'm letting you know, Mr. Animal Lover is letting you know your pet's going to suffer. If you don't want your pet to suffer, then do not put it up for adoption and find solutions to help prevent that. What are those solutions? Well, last week I had a whole week. My topics are week long on how to locate local pantries, how to locate local nonprofit pet services that help you with vaccines, help you with uh, getting annual checkups for your pets, help you with fostering your pet. In the meantime, helping you with keeping your pet at home so that you don't have to put it up for adoption. How do they help you with keeping your pet at home? Well, they provide you with pet food, number one, right? Because obviously, if you want to put up for adoption, you can't afford to feed it. One of the biggest issues happening now, right, with inflation. But the goal this week, right? The topic this week is how to keep your pet at home and what are the issues families are facing, right? Today, inflation, obviously, the Federal Reserve for over a year they've been attacking him to lower interest rates, and I think on the next meeting they're going to lower interest rates or cut rates, which he says is due to inflation and rising costs, right? From everything from pet food and pet services and human foods and human services. But there's a crisis in America, and who suffers ultimately is our little furry friends. And Mr. Animal Lover and the Pets Rule Show is here to support you, and we want to make sure you keep your furry little friend at home. That's our goal here, right? So this entire week, the topic is going to be about how to keep your pet at home. And that's what the show is going to be about this entire week. Again, pet confessions. You can win $25, $50, $100 Amazon gift card sent to you instantly on your email for the best pet confession at the end of every month. There'll be a raffle. Make sure that you put your email. Make sure you send a picture, and one pet confession will be chosen at the end of the year. At the end of the year, there will be a grand prize of $500, right? And I'll have it on the screen there. Pets Confessions at petsrulesshow.com. Every day, families are being forced to make a heartbreaking choice because of rising costs. But here's the truth. It doesn't have to end with you giving up your pet. There are resources, budget smart strategies, and communities ready to help you keep your furry family together. Don't wait until inflation forces you into an impossible decision. Take action now. Protect your dog, protect your pet, protect your cat, protect your bond, and let's stand together as pet parents against this crisis. Subscribe today to the Pets Rule Show. Click on that bell and join the movement to keep our pets safe, healthy, and at home where they belong. Thank you for watching the Pets Rule Show. I'm your host, Mr. Animal Lover, and